Good morning, Northwestern, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of Eagle7 News. I'm Chinu Her. If you had a busy fall semester and missed out on Northwestern football, we have a solution. We caught up with Coach Kirk Talley to give us a recap of the season.
With the football season over, Professor and Coach Kirk Talley had a few comments about the football season and its players.
Well, recapping the football season for the 2012 Eagles, fun to look back, and we had a great start to our season. We always start our season with a retreat, and I can remember talking to some of the coaches, and specifically Professor Sawyer, music director of choral activities, saying, boy, there's a different spirit about this team. And we started off against St. John's and, of course, didn't win that game. And the score was pretty big against us, and yet I think our guys decided that they weren't going to let that affect them, learn from it, grow from it. So we came back, played Westminster down in Missouri, which is not an easy place or an easy trip, and yet the guys had a great time, came out strong, beat Westminster in a tough game, tough battle. We finished strong from the perspective of our last game of the year was in the Victory Bowl. We won the conference and had the opportunity to play in the Victory Bowl. We believed that we had the personnel to win the conference, and the guys were able to do that, and so praise the Lord for that. Finally, with the Victory Bowl, even though we didn't finish strong on the scoreboard, I felt like the guys gave an excellent effort. Going into overtime is something that was pretty exciting for us to do, and so I was very pleased with the season to go 8-3 with the group of men that we had, and to have the season that they had, the great senior leadership was just tremendous.
For Eagle7 News, I'm Dan Hinkle.
Are you looking for student discounts close to campus? Well, the Minnesota Timberwolves have a new student discount this year. If you show your student ID, you will get 50% off every game. This special offer is only available at the Target Center box office, and tickets must be purchased on game day. You can get $20 tickets for only $10. For more information, you can call 612-673-1664. If you haven't heard, Devani's in Roseville gives a 10% discount also to students from Northwestern College. Just show your student ID card and you can get your grub on at Devani's. Well, speaking of basketball, the men's basketball team is on a hot streak. They're off to the second best start in school history with 5 consecutive wins. The team is undefeated and sitting at a 5-0 mark after defeating Wisconsin Superior on Wednesday, led by Wade Chitwood's hot shooting night. The Eagles will aim to tie the best starting record in history this Friday when they host Buena Vista University at 7:30 p.m. Well, December is approaching, and so are scholarship deadlines. Applications are available right now for all students and due on December 17th. Students studying abroad or on the ICS trip will get an extended deadline that goes until January 31st. The awards will not be available for students who are not returning for the 2013-2014 school year or graduate students. For further information, send an email to stewardship@nwc.edu. Well, if you dream of traveling or desire to experience a different culture, consider being an exchange student at Daystar University. Josette Eliff shows us the experiences that exchange students are having from Daystar University.
Imagine waking up in the morning for school. On the drive there, you look out your window and see monkeys, zebras, and giraffes. For students of Daystar University, like Redempta, Charlene, and Moses, this is nothing too out of the ordinary. Daystar is a large private university in Kenya.
There are 2 main campuses which are in Nairobi, but there's also another one in Mombasa. So if we take into account the whole population, there are about 5,000.
Northwestern and Daystar established a partnership in 2010. Since, students from both schools have been participating in a semester-long exchange program. You can expect at least a few surprises when traveling halfway around the world.
There's a friend of mine who told me that for the Minnesota weather, as in if you don't like it, just wait 5 minutes.
In Kenya, people really dress up when they're going to church. So the way people dress when they're going to church, that was weird.
And different foods.
BLTs, they were amazing. And I had like 5 at one sitting.
I went to this place called Coldstone, and I couldn't be able to select. As in, I was looking at all of them, and I'm like, I'll have all of them.
Of course, there are things students have missed since leaving home.
The community, because back at home, we really have a lot of teamwork.
Our families and food from home.
Community, family, friends, food. just the life that you've been used to.
Despite some homesickness, the students are enjoying the experience.
Come apply and go to Daystar for the exchange program. It's an awesome experience.
Once we understand our diversity, it helps us to become united. Our diversity helps us to appreciate other people, appreciate ourselves, and most importantly, appreciate God, who created us differently, but who also serves as our Father and unites all of us through His love.
Josette Eliff, Eagle7 News.
That's all the news we have for you guys this week. Be sure to look for us online. We'd love to hear your feedback and story ideas. We'll be back next week with more news. I'm Chinu Her.